Hello, greetings. All right, thank you for joining us. I believe everything is. I didn't really need that. Okay. Oh, guess they changed some stuff here. All right, here we go. This is the chat portion of the webinar. I would do a screen share, but nothing ever seems to work on Google Plus anymore, so it's okay. All right, so here we go. Blessings, positive vibrations. Here we go. Gundium, any messages from the Shark star system? They feel like they're misunderstood by us, and they do help us with energies as they're raising the Earth's vibration. They do work with the sun energies on this planet for us to receive more sunlight, even as they're shark beings. They are assisting us, but some might. They're also very good at going to different portals, different dimensions very easily as a shark being. Of course, the animals here they're here to learn from us. So whatever it might, and that goes for all the animals here. Of course, we're learning from them, but they're learning from us also, of course. Yeah, but they're learning a great deal. Trust me. Yeah, they're what they're getting out of this world. Of course, it's very difficult here. It's taking them, was it 1,000 worlds, something around those lines of education. So, question 2: any messages from my guides? Just to concentrate on things that you want. That do see a lot of Syrian energies around you at this time. Working with your chakras as for opening up. Well, yeah, connected to the sharks, and that's very connected to Sirius, of course, connected to all kinds of places. Your Syrian connections here will increase. Many of them are bald also. You work with the underground, like your underground cities. You probably feel it in AI, but they're showing underground cities that you're used to connecting to. First, Snow, any messages from Jesus? You're going through his vibrations, learning more from his library of knowledge. You are going to Sirius, but also seems like you're very connected to Neptune also. As for bringing health energies, Neptune is it's a healing planet. Of course, all planets, Venus, but Neptune for you is a very healing energy. You might be able to pick up on that. You go through your chakras and to open yourself up more. But yeah, for Jesus, let's see. You just said he's learning a lot from you, but he's also taking you to different places and astral you have not connected to before. They might feel his energies around. Yeah, it happened recently from what it feels like. Question 2: are there any messages from Archangel Michael? Let's see. You are going through his. I do see you going through his energy field as for opening him up more. Of course, angels are very well open, but it does seem like you are assisting him and connecting to more because they do get drained over time. Not everyone's probably going to agree with that, but I do see you adding your energies to Michael's vibration as for him assisting others in the Earth's transition, especially now. So others might feel like they are more connected to Michael than ever before because they are within his energy field. So he just says keep up the good work. You're going through exercise, which is good. New diet, I feel, in some ways. And this is the energy that's much needed for you at this time. Carol, any other messages for me? One moment. Let's see. Yeah, once again, your energies are with a Garth. I do see you with very long hair. And with that long hair, I do see you bringing, like little animals out of your hair in a good way, though. Garthian beings, like fairy beings. I know it's going to sound funny, but hair can, yes, open dimensions. I know it sounds funny, but it can. It does give one strength, the length of it. Doesn't mean the longer it is, the stronger you are, but it does work its mysteries. So hair does play like with Samson. It does work as for power. Merlin had a lot of hair too, so it gives you so it just gives confidence. It's different for everybody. Some work with a lot of hair, some work with none. It all has a purpose behind it, which makes sense. Are there any other messages for me? Oh, from Yeshua, yeah, it's going through your chakras, opening up a lot of Middle Ages incarnations, but not too soon. The time of the Middle Ages part of okay, that's a new one. A lot of stuff here. Uh, once again, you have a lot of Middle Age energies around you at this time. Just one of the reasons well, you learn so much from past incarnations. You're coming here to yeah, open up different dimensions. You just haven't quite gotten into it yet. Yeah, you can probably feel it within your hand chakras. You feel different dimensions. It depends. You can connect to it though. It's wherever you're needing it. You're teaching Mother Earth a great deal. Also, everybody has their own. If oh, Mother Earth's been here so long, you'd be surprised. She might feel like she's still a kid. So, Caleb, any messages from the Arcturians for me? Yeah, you're going into like it's funny how your second question is about music. Because the first question feels like you're going into a music energy. You're going into that sound vibration. And you might and during the sound vibration, basically you're going into your root chakra actually. As for opening it up more and to connect to once again other dimensions that are needed for you. But I do see you doing you're bringing it back for a healing as you're basically upping your vibration too. So like you're working with your root chakra, that music energy is going to go right through them all. So that's all they're showing at this moment. You might see another version of yourself too, possibly. What does music and sound have to do with my path on Earth? That path. That's fine. Yeah, you have a lot of past life. Well, it's helping you release. It's another way. Like sound is another way of healing. Sound is just with the right sounds. It feels like you just break out of reality. You break through this dimension. So the right frequencies is what you are connected. You used to, and you can say this is connected to the Hathors. Also, Hathors are very much like the pyramids being built by that type of energy, by sound. So the Hathor energy is very, you say that's part of your connection too. Doesn't mean it's. I mean, I see you like with like a horn blowing in. It's definitely just ancient incarnations with music, basically. Ancient Greece, some Rome. Yeah, it seems like you're always connected to some kind of music path. As for why, it's just part of your it's just where you feel at home at. Let's put it that way. At least for this world. It's like if I'm gonna come into this world, I want to be somewhere where I can feel at home. That's where a lot of that comes from. It's like I want to be comfortable here instead of miserable all the time. Let's put it that way. Ways to help it. Marianne, any messages for me? I see you connecting to. Yeah, it's like the Hall of Records of this earth. Of course, everyone does that in astral, but it seems like you're bringing that energy into us. Basically, to bring more knowledge as people are asking for more information. They're getting clearance in some areas, allowed to do it. Just like people want to know more about the universe, know about our lives here. You do seem to have a place there where you are allowed to. It just feels like you're connected to that type of council energy and spirit. So you're here as a. You say you're here as a watcher in some ways. You know, you're just keeping a low profile. But every once in a while, I say, you give a gift. Here you go. Oh, you want this? Not sure if you should have it. And it's like, here you go. It's like, well, it doesn't mean it has to be physical, but it seems like how you're operating from what they're telling me. Question 2, any messages from our angelic self? Yes, you're going through Mother Mary's energies. You're actually helping her release a lot of negativity. As you know, what happened with Yeshua and all the drama with it, a lot of that, I never really thought about this. Yeah, a lot of it affected her. How people are saying his name, and you can probably pick up on a lot of that. So I do see you healing Mother Mary's energies, which is quite, I've never seen that perspective before. Which makes a lot of sense, because look what he's going through, and mistakes, whatever it might be. And she's a filter, but she's taking on a lot of that pain, and you're helping her release a lot of it. And it has a lot to do with the awakening. So it doesn't mean you have to connect to it now, or you might be able to feel some of that. It's another reason why you're on this earth. It's like we're all of us are medicine for society in some ways. James, any messages for me today? Yeah, just to take your chances. Take your chances. Be, as long as you feel comfortable with it, not betting the whole house or anything like that, but what you're comfortable with. And you know that, if this doesn't work, it'll be all right, but it is good to go for it. That's what I'm saying. Interesting, King Arthur came in the webinar, at least the message. I see you connecting to King Arthur also as a friend, a mentor to him. I see you as an elder. You might be able to feel some of that, maybe not. It's not exactly the easiest time you want to remember. I should really see that. Now, doesn't mean you're connected to him. I feel like he was younger at that time. But wasn't to get him into his direction. I believe you had some intuition about him. You just felt that you need to I need to talk to this kid. I know it sounds strange, but and become like a mentor. I see you as like a carpenter of some kind, or working on. And so it just he's like, I need to talk to you, type of thing. So it was different times. Yeah, you talk to kids like, it's just a lot more freer than it is here. Here is like, oh, whoa, what's this? It's a lot more of a neighborhood, you can say. Everybody knows your name, something like that. How is it that Starseed Light workers, etc., are allowed to be here, or still be alive, or still alive? Most holistic doctors have been taken out of here in modern times. In the history, spiritual people and entire population have been purged. Yep. And no likers are protected, but how? Oh yeah, thanks for your show. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's an interesting subject that came through that I didn't quite really think about. Yeah, it's just it's you can say it's the time. Yes, we are being protected because we'll be on. I mean, I'd be on I'll be burned at the stake right now, unless I can scare enough people to not burn me at the stake. Yeah, we're in the digital age. Yeah, there's a lot of alien and that tells you the positive aliens. They do work here. I mean, when they work, they work. I believe it has a lot to do with the angelic world too, but it's just time for it. It's like every era has a reason for, yeah, it gets kind of complicated to go through. It's just like, during like the Middle Ages, if you connect, I mean, of course, a lot of people are connected to this, but then others were like burned at the stake. So, it's just, I guess it all goes into, I mean, we've already been through a lot of that darkness already. So we're going to more of like the Atlantean period, you can say. Because Atlantis, this was all normal. This was the world. So, of course, once you destroy that world, you destroy everybody that's involved with it. Now we're going back to it. So the alien assistance, I mean, this world probably would have been taken out by asteroids and who knows what that's out in space too. So it tells you that they're protecting us. It's a galactic, I don't want to call it a galactic war, but something around that. Yeah, we're getting heavy, we're living it heavy, and so are they. In a different way. They don't have to worry about feeding themselves, but it is a busy on their deck of the woods. So not for all of them, but the ones that are watching over us, it's a heavy situation. Symmetry, any messages for me? No, just believe in yourself. There's the Zeta connections are going to increase. Of course, they are very quiet, but they might start talking to you. You might just feel something from them, possibly. And they're working with our technologies. They're trying, they let us be ourselves. They don't want to interfere too much. They're not really their place here, but they are. They show up when they feel like it'll help us. Let's put it that way. So, when I connect to Zetas, it's usually right. That's right. I forgot to put this. Oops. To like this so I can know where to start next time. One moment. Oh, there's another one from Cemetery. How come no one else is talking about disclosure and channeling community? It seems like no one is picking up on it. It's strange, yeah. They don't call me a black sheep for nothing. It's like anything I connect, yeah, they're just. I mean, I got a message, like I said, from the Palladians, and it was directed towards me to start. Well, that just. I believe a lot of that's going to start coming through. It's not trendy for a lot of them. If they'll get them views or something like that. Like the event, they'll jump on that board, but on this, not a word. Kind of shows you the true colors of the whole thing too. Of course, it doesn't make me look too good, but I don't care what they say. But yeah, not all. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Well, it just shows you I'm part of a whole different group. I don't get invited to all the cool kids parties either. I don't think I really want to anyway. So yeah, I'm yeah, my direction, it's not for everybody too. It has, from what I gather, it's like it's like they're offered it and they said no. Probably because of ridicule that comes with it. That's what I'm gathering. It's like an astral. They're offered it. It's like, here, you want to go into this and say, no, I don't want to look like a crazy person. So, because I believe every time I bring it up, I believe it does raise the energy of it. It helps. It gets people prepared, mentally, physically, and it's up to the individual to choose yes or no on it. It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? It's a strange, yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? There are others on YouTube that are talking about it, but it's not in the channeling community. There's a funny one out there called himself Disclosure. What is his name? Post Disclosure. He's a funny one, but he was talking about way before I was, and he's just a goofy guy. But it's fun. It's a funny one though. But I think we call the I think he shows up like Alien Jesus. He's a funny one. I think you'll get it if you haven't found him already. Yeah, he's a funny one. So I looked up on YouTube Disclosure and he popped up. So like, when I was getting prepared to go into all of this, I was just kind of curious what other people are talking about. It's not talked about much. The event is like all over the place, but Disclosure is like, so it's soul agreements, you can say. It's very strange. Yeah. Everybody wants to look like a lunatic. but I'm okay with it. Braden, thank you for your question. Symmetry is a good question. All of our good questions, but yeah, it's a tricky situation there, isn't it? Braden, are there any important messages for me at this time, for my higher self or beings around me? Yeah, you're connected, you're protected by, tall white beings, Pleiadian energies. Um, you are making positive connections with the Anunnaki as with secret space program. Hopefully, I can say all this. Basically, yeah, for disclosure, I think as it plays a lot. Disclosure in Europe, I see you're playing a big role in that. Hopefully, I can say that too. But I do see once again your energies are all over Mars in a positive way. Yeah, Mars plays a big role in our awakening process too. There's a lot of other deep energies, obviously, they don't want to go into. That's it for now. Question 2. I was told in a past life I connected with my good friend Roshin says, siblings, can you tell me more about our spiritual connection past? Affects presence. Well, I do see like in the past you've had a lot of disagreements. But in this time you've overcome a lot of that. So now you're weren't what I see as a big disagreement in the past. And now you're coming back together to now you kind of got through all that, like went your separate ways, and now you're kind of like because you in the past is like you're at different levels. Not to say anyone's better than anybody, but you have a different way of looking at things, and so you split it up, and then you came back from what I see. And when you come back, it's now you're learning from how'd you get to this conclusion? So energy wise, you're going you have a simple conversation. How's the coffee or something? But how's this or whatever it might be. But energy wise, you see further of how you got to that, why you like this or why you're doing that, Which I haven't really seen it like that before. So it makes quite a bit of sense. So that when people are wondering how you learn from each other, another way. So yeah, you're just a lot of disagreements, and now you're kind of not to say you're always going to agree, but I believe you're on a level where you're not going to run into that. I don't see it. Not everyone's going to agree with everything, but you have open mindedness that you can work with each other's opinions. Let's put it that way. That seems to be the strongest energy there. Kenny and Dan's, any messages for me? I do see you connected to the leopard, the animal. Once again, social environments is whatever feels comfortable for you at this time. Not always going to be the easiest as for making things happen. Situation, personal life, always personal connections as for relationships. Right now, just concentrate on things that are important to you at this moment. The relationship area will open itself up. There's a lot going on that. Another reason why we don't attract the right mate is this that we're on one level and the mate is on doing whatever else, and it's hard to really always connect if you're doing different things. So it doesn't mean there's not anybody out there, it's just that I'm not fully connected to it. So just continue to be you, basically. Any other messages? You just your guide to say connect to others, just keep communicating. Go out when you feel like you need to go out, go to places, but don't have a whole lot of expectations, ideas, and enjoy the moment, not to worry about, whatever happens. Have a good time. That's what it's all about. It's not about exactly, meeting a person or whatever it might be. It does seem like there is a strong connection coming. Let's see. As for when, just leave it open. Because there's always, just leave it open. There's always free will and all that going on. Noah, how did my past lives deal with Christianity? Was it all well or good, or was I burned at the stake at one point? I think he kept it quiet most of the time. I didn't quite agree with it, but I don't think you ever really agreed with it. But you realize, I gotta feed myself and my family, so I'm just gonna kind of take this pill and deal with it. But I believe you disagree with much of it and just kind of kept quiet. It's just, if you start saying things, what happens to people. So I believe you survived it. I don't see you getting burned at the stake, but I believe you being afraid of it. I do see that around. I don't. Yeah, I don't. I mean, if there was, I'm not picking it up at this moment. If you really feel that way, but I do see you definitely avoiding it quite a bit because you're around people that did get burned at the stake. That's probably where that's coming from. I believe you got out of it because you were being protected. But you didn't hang out with people that were like that though. That did wasn't just one time. So you're just known to be hanging around those type of groups that don't agree with Christianity, and so I see a lot of times in Ireland. Probably, a lot of British incarnations. Probably, they all kind of intertwine together. Question 2: any messages for me? Let's see. Just go within. Connect to your guides. Go within. Take a dive with it. I think you do this, but now it seems like you are getting ready to more hear of your guides when It also there is some like self-sacrifice as for time, meaning you can't always do everything for yourself. And you got to give your time to others to get through life, friends or family or somebody. It's like I'd rather be doing this, but I'm helping this person out. So is what I'm seeing there. At least that's what I'm getting. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but it does what the goals will take some time, but you are on the right timeline. All I do is communication. It's timing, it's just endurance, and we'll find the right connection. Maddie, I was in a dream a couple of days ago, and I was shown this temple that showed molecules moving everywhere that represented the energy flow throughout my body. And I was kind of got anxious. The molecules stuck together and stopped. Can you tell me what was this, and if I can find anything like this in the human world? I don't think you can. I don't think we're there yet. Let's see. Yeah, because our world doesn't connect. I mean, you can connect to it on use your own intuition, what you're getting on this, because our finding information on this probably isn't going to be the easiest. Now, with the molecules sticking together and stops, I mean, it's just buildup of energy. Not always bad, but it's you're not always going to have the energy flow. It doesn't seem like it's protecting themselves. That's why they're doing that. I'm not sure. Just whatever you can do for a search for this. But once again, just trust your intuition and what you're feeling on it, what you're getting on it. But yeah, you're just now. Why are you seeing this? Let's see. You're going into yourself. Basically, you're going through a self-release. Now, realize alien beings look at us like molecules, and they see our intestines. They see all the, they just, you probably maybe heard from other channelers, but yeah, they do. They look at us very much differently. They look at they look at us, or they look at our thought patterns to know what kind of person we are. That gives you kind of a different aspect of what's, they're giving you a different perspective. That's basically it. I say that Arcturian side of you that's exploring this to give yourself to dive more into it, not to be afraid of. I don't think you're afraid of it. It's kind of like, what am I looking at? But I see that's the Arcturian side of you of how you look at things. That's another reason why they brought that up to you. That's one point of view I'm getting. All right, blessings. Might be other. Everyone has a different point of view, but that's what I've received. Happy 4th. Looking forward to your radio show tonight, which was yesterday. Thank you. Found the book Invader from Outer Space by Philip Brooks. Eyewitness readers of 1990. 1999, written for wow, that's interesting. Two and third graders. Check it out. It seems overwhelming for them 20 years ago. Invaders from Space from Philip Brooks. A wake-up call for you. Jeez. It has a Zeta Gray on the freaking cover. It's like, okay. All right. Super illustrations, neat. Yeah. Well, the cartoons they talk to us, through kids shows. That makes sense. Question one: Betty and Barney Hill incident. What was the star system she drew for investigators? Zeta Reticuli. Yeah, the Zetas aren't all bad. They're there for they're quiet, but those two had a contract with them to be awakened, especially Betty. She wanted to give the Zetas she wanted to help them into human consciousness, because they've been kind of ignored by us. People, they're very much human, different, but very much similar to us. Question two: Any urgent news or updates for me tonight? Yeah, real firecracker. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, happy 4th of July. Any urgent news or updates? No, just there's a Palladian energy, but they're very quiet in your area at this time. There are vortexes around your area that open and close. You might feel reptilian presence, maybe wandering around, possibly. Nothing to worry about. But now in your area, there's anything can happen in the skies. It might be. I mean, it doesn't mean they're testing. They're preparing, from what I see, for visitation. Not everybody's going to connect with this, but no, it said there's Palladian energies around you that were going to make themselves known, possibly, but they kind of pulled back from that. But it's still on the table. Everything's on the table. It's now you have Mantis around you too, and positive. Do you feel like a funny joke comes to mind out of nowhere? Might be them. But at this time, just know that you're safe, nothing to worry about. The world's going to change. You're going to see it very quickly. When things happen, the world gets weird. You'll be there you won't miss it. Let's put it that way. Danielle, I just received notice, and my type was invisible at first, so I hope this goes okay. I just okay. Do the guys have any advice on why I am extra mentally weird lately? Overwhelmed. Extra sensory is going on. Basically, just becoming more aware of what's going on. Well, there's a lot of weirdness happening now. It doesn't seem like you're being prepared to what's to come mentally preparing for, but also seems like you're going into other dimensions like crazy, like ADD energy, or preparing for what's to come. As for what, I'll leave that for you. I also believe you can connect to the future and see possible events. So, question 2: Do the guys have any messages on how to help my little body besides what I am doing already? A bath? Did you just say sea salt bath or any type of bath, but any type of what you feel would be good for you? I see bath. Just different types of organic, but sea salt is a thought. I just say in the bath you can connect to the sun energies, meditate in the sun, meditate in the bath if you feel comfortable with that. Should take you to different places and help you release. I understand you're not really human here either. You wonder what aliens look like. It's called mental difficulties here, but really you're just more heightened aliens that not doing the human thing too well. That's what that is. Jess, the final portion of Elohim Infusion recently integrated for me, and what is the benefits and what messages Elohim have for me? Just to believe it, just to see more clearly, feel more elevated, and basically confident in certain areas. Might be able to think a little bit more clearly. As for energy, it's hard to say. Question 2: A female Palladian named Part 2 came to me through me earlier this week. What messages? Well, they're testing you out. They're preparing you. Well, like this whole disclosure situation, see what you feel on it. I believe you will get messages. I understand. I don't get a whole lot. Well, I get what occurs a little bit different, but you might. I think you'll be able to tap into it, some shape or form. Might get different versions, different timelines, but it does seem like the Pleiadians will help you if you want their help on it. I'm being told right there. Yeah, that's Blue Palladium, so that makes sense. Yeah. I believe that one's involved. If not, they'll connect you to the right person or being. Susie, what have you been doing at Astral? Let's see. I do see reptilian energies, but I see you warning from them. I see you like laughing with them at a ball game. It's gonna be funny. It's just that you're not afraid of them. I don't think you were before, but uh, they're just showing that it's just that there's nothing. There's so much to learn from them that part of you has kind of neglected. It's part of you that wishes to know more. And so an astral, no, this isn't all you're doing, but this is what they're giving me. Also, there's a lot of secrets within the reptilian races that are keeping away from humanity at this time. That you might be able to pick up on intuition, but also, the human brain is, reptilian. I believe you'll be able to tap into that also and release a lot of the blockages to see more. So that's why the reptilians are there. They're helping you unlock. And this is a message for others too. Just think about it. How do you feel about that? I truly believe that. It's like, it's time to unlock the reptilian mind. Yeah. Whatever words you want to use. Seriously, put your energies on your brain and just like, okay, no more blockages. There's a meditation on the radio show, always words to use. I forgot what it was exactly, but are there any messages for me? Let's see. It does seem like you're opening up the floodgates as for disclosure. In your own right, I do see you're connecting more to the angelics. I do see a lot of sand around you also from the past. As for the desert was your friend in the ancient world. Part of it probably doesn't want to remember. But part of it has to do with the human consciousness as it went into third dimension. Sand is. It's just, I don't think there's sand worlds, but ours is a lot more harsher. And it just there's a lot of history there for you to dive in. Like in meditation, let's put it this way. You can kind of like be at a pool, but it's sand, and you jump into that sand and see where you go. That's just the idea. It's just, or walk out to a sandy desert and see what you pick up on. You might see reptilians there, but not in the negative, just there to teach us. The ancient ones are very positive. It's like humanity has been afraid of a lot of this knowledge, but if you're ready, I will give you what you need at this time. That's what I received from that. Makes sense. And what are my connections to the planet Venus? I do see you part of the Galactic Federations of Venus, basically, as it was, I believe it was attacked in its past. And it kind of went into shutdown, be civilization. It's still there, it's just not as strong as its cycle kind of closed out. But I see you part of the federations, like the council of it at one time. But in some ways, you feel like a Venus being is too powerful. It's like you don't learn as much as you learn on this world. Yeah, because they could be like 6th, 7th dimension, depending on what type of energy you pick on Venus. So the reason you came to this world is to, learn the hardships of this planet. Because, the benefits, because those beings that are a high vibration, it's like they miss out on, all the nightmare stuff we live here. But it's like you're in search for knowledge. You're not saying what. But yeah, higher council is a healer, but the higher council is for making decisions, I see. Do I have any messages? I see a lot of dolphin energies around you at this time. I see a lot of forgiveness you're doing. Some of us help humanity forgive itself. It's like allowing change It's like I see you. This is what I get. You're connecting to human consciousness, allowing it to forgive itself, helping it forgive itself, so it can see more of what's happening here. That's what I'm picking up. If you feel right about that, but I mean, don't we want to know more about what's going on instead of the channel messages are good, but there's so much more out there. And I believe that's what you're reaching out for, from what I can feel. I believe that's what you're heading for. Miles. What does a prime creator see in my future timeline? Abundance. It's not quick abundance, but you are going to find inner happiness. Doesn't say when, but you're heading in that direction. You're also very good with the insectoids. He also shows you like playing pool with them and stuff. Mind games is pretty positive from what I see. Or whatever you might. Yeah, see a lot of insectoid stuff there. Especially on Mars, that's for sure. Do I have any other messages? Yeah, you're coming to a turning point. I do see a lot of reading. Doesn't say what kind, but a lot of education is needed in some shape or form. Yeah, I might not be reading the Bible or anything, but there's going to be some kind of reading coming up from what I can pick up on. Maybe it's a page. Either way, it's going to help you. Maybe it's a manual. Either way, it's going to help you in your direction. Well, they're showing it this time. Now, again, it was super vague. Jim F. This past week, I've been feeling really disconnected from 3D, but today was almost. But today was the most. Oh, sorry. Today was the most. Okay, that's a good thing. What can you tell me about what I've been doing during sleep? Yeah, you're part of the transition that's coming in. You're allowing yourself to. Now, this might not be always. You're allowing more information. It's healing, but also allowing the new energies to come in. Not all of us can stay at that level all the time, so you have to learn from 3D events. For us to handle it, too, it's like you're at fourth dimension, you can connect to 3D problems, like, oh, I don't know what to do. So, yeah, they're not really showing me details, but they're just showing you're bringing in higher vibrations. And some of it's from the Anunnaki in a positive way, but you made a deal in spirit to tell, say that you're ready, but you also feel like you're ready. You're also very connected to the moon. Question 2, any messages for me regarding a decision on what retreat to attend? One, just the one with the most water, like a lake, but one that you feel very passionate towards. Of course, you always have to make sure that you're really, like, sometimes you see something for sure, go there. It's not always what it seems to be. Now I'm getting beat in my astral, so energy's not the best always. But it's where you feel that you won't be disappointed. I know that sounds funny, but sometimes, wow, it looks like it was really nice to get there. It's like, well, this isn't what I expected. So, something to look out for. Yeah, they don't want you disappointed. Doesn't mean you will be. It's just, you want you at their highest point. Eric, has any beings been making it difficult for me lately, or is it just me? Well, I see you shifting out of this dimension a lot recently. Out of body. So, sorry. I just see you going in and out a lot. So, they're not really I don't think anyone's causing any difficulties. I just see you shifting. So you're not giving yourself. So like when you come back, sometimes you're not with it. It's because you're doing a lot of other stuff. Trust me, we're all kind of worn out. We're all kind of disconnected. So we're bringing in a new frontier, you can say. Do the Pleiadians have any messages for me? Just stay confident. Just ask for healing too. When you feel you're kind of like this is going on, ask for healing. But sometimes I ask for my guides, like you're supposed to go through this. It's like, okay, good. Thank you for that. Sometimes it's the way it is. But yeah, just be. That question just kind of walked out of my brain too. At least for going further into it. But yeah, what you want to connect to will get stronger. I think I know why. I think. All right. Anyways, you're going to get stronger. Your connections are going to strengthen. Everything's going to strengthen. Just you might feel kind of out of it because of what I've been connecting to. I'm not the only one doing this. They're just not. We're not all fully aware. So I think that's something to do with it. At least the disclosure energies, from what I feel. We're going to give humanity the deal of a lifetime, you can say. At least that's what I'm feeling. I mean, I did a meditation the other night and met my spirit guide named Joseph, who felt like a light being. When we connected, I felt my heart open up. Felt lots of joys. I put a ring on his left hand, and he put a ring on my right hand, and then we touched hands. How we know each other, and what does all this mean? Well, he's kind of like a soulmate. Yeah, it's one you truly trust. One that kind of gave his life for you in other incarnations. At least one in particular, like during the Middle Ages. So it's one that you just always had dear love. You can say it's kind of like a soulmate, but not necessarily. Well, you can create that if you want. Everyone has different definitions of soulmate. I believe you create soulmate, create connections. Some say, oh, that's just the way it is. I'm your soulmate. You have to live with it. It's like, no, I don't believe that's how it works. If that's the case, I'll cut all that off. So, it should be able to be a mutual connection that creates that soulmate energy. So I don't think you're going by that, but it's very strong. Once again, trust. Now that meeting there was just showing that you trust each other, that you're going to work together. That's what that means. Question 2, I live near the mountains and wonder if any Sasquatch visit me in energy. Yes. If they sent me messages, they might. You might find something outside in front. Maybe you can always ask for a feather or ask for them to leave something in front of where you live, and see what happens. Oh yeah, you can connect to them telepathically. Give it a shot. It won't hurt anything. Me, I have OCD, obsessive. Yeah, I probably did too. Compulsive disorder. My OCD has to do with fire. That's a different one. I checked the stove several. Oh yeah, that makes. Yeah, I can see that. Several times before I can leave the house, I have to check the curling irons again to make sure I unplug them. I was wondering if I had past life something happened that is directly invisible. Responsible for my fear of catching fire. Yes. If so, can you tell me? I believe it was like in the 1930s from what I see. They just show it as a fire that didn't need to happen. You might feel it's your fault. I don't think it was. It feels like it had to do with oil, propane, whatever it was during that time that heated their house. Whatever it was that heated their house took it down. So now you're in total panic mode in this. Of course, I don't know what they had in the 1930s, but whatever, like a stove or whatever it was that heating the house, whatever heating device, it got out of hand. It had a difficulty with it or some kind of fault with it. And I also believe he might have died in that situation too, from what I'm feeling. I'm not getting 100% on that. So you almost died in that. Other members or family did not do so well, from what I gather. So you kind of blamed yourself. So that's what I'm saying. There's probably more to it than that, but I see the 1930s when I connect to it. So there's a lot of mourning. I believe you died of a broken heart also after that because it was just so devastating. That's what I'm saying. I believe it was recent. Well, 1930s isn't that far away. Okay, maybe it's almost 100 years ago, but still not that far away. That's it. Anyway, do my guides have any messages for me just to, heal that? The way to heal that is to go into and close your eyes and just ask for it to heal that incarnation. You don't have to close your eyes, or you can go to bed. Before you go to bed, ask for release this. Ask for assistance. Whatever you feel, I believe you will come to healing that. Your guides just say, yeah. Once you overcome this, I believe you feel it's going to take some time to release all this. You're going to gradually not worry so much. It's pretty heavy on you, so it's not going to happen overnight. In Ara, the city that I live in feels like the energy is changing for the better. Yeah, yeah, it's gradually. I think also your energies are shifting. Also, it's just once again the shift. Some call it the event and call it whatever you want. It is a shift that's on its way. Any messages from my higher self? Yes, not to give into negativity. Yeah, there is some struggles going on in astral from even your higher self. You're not always agreeing with your higher self, it seems. In some ways, you have to be more patient here. You want things to happen quickly. In some ways, I do see some of that. Patient and basically take it easy, not worry, and just to relax. Because some of it you feel like this is it's there somewhere. Especially with the suffering that's going on the earth, you do connect to those. I believe in astral, do connect to homeless people in astral. That's what I see, giving them blessings, healing them. I believe so. You do connect them to astral because some of them are like they're making a statement, and so you're there to help them find food. I do see you connected to quite a few. And I'm not saying where, but that's what I'm feeling. I'm not sure if you can resonate with all that. Henry, do I have any messages from the karmic court? Yes, you're not out of the woods yet, but it's better. You're just give it time, probably a couple more months for a full healing, but you are. Let's put it this way: you're going in a better direction. Things will improve. Luck will enhance, but there's a lot of lessons here to be learned. There's a lot of self-love you're going through. So just you're not being punished. Don't look at that. So but there is much improvement on the way, of course. Do I have any messages from from the universe? Yeah, this kind of smart. They say take a beating and keep on ticking, along with everybody else. But realize also, it feels like everyone, you feel like you're getting hit by a hammer, but realize that you still survived after getting hit by that hammer. Doesn't mean you have to keep on getting hit, but realize also this is the help the universe learned is that souls here, yes, they do take a beating, but they know that it's all for the greater good, and you know that, and it will heal. You will get positive karma for this. It does seem like you're probably gonna love this. It does seem like you are taking on karma from other beings that don't know any better. Might be through the family. It's not being very clear, or beings that are just absolutely wicked on this planet. It's like, come into my energy, I will heal you. I know you're gonna beat the crap out of me for doing this, but I believe you still have something good for the world. Let's look at it this way. You know how some people that are not very good on this were like killers or whatever it might be. Some of them just have luck. Not to say you're putting your energy there, but it's like there's some that you are working with that it's like they have people are learning a lot from them, even if they aren't exactly the most positive beings. But there's good in everybody, and so you're assisting others. Like some don't know any better, but you're bringing in they'll find refuge eventually. But it's like somebody that's like on drugs all the time, but they're super smart. It's like you're helping people mentally, but they're not helping themselves. It's kind of like that. Look at it more that way. It's like there are some you're working with here that you're not most likely never probably run into, but it does seem like that exists with your energy. That's quite interesting. It's like this person's really good for humanity, even if they're not exactly have a lot of faults. That's what I'm seeing. You can probably connect with that. So, positive karma will find its way to you. Let's see. Pamela and Vasco go to you. Pamela, any messages for me? Just keep praying is what I'm receiving. You will receive. Basically, your health will improve in some areas. Yeah, just think more positively of yourself is what I'm receiving. Question 2: are my mother, my husband, and my stepsister, who have all crossed over around me, are they around? Yes, mostly your husband. I see, as he made a lot of mistakes in the past, and trying to make up for quite a bit of it. The mother is, but not so much. I feel like the husband's the strongest one. Stepsister, kind of. When you call her, she'll be there, but she feels like you're doing pretty good as it is. But the husband definitely is the strongest one because he felt like he could have did more. Vasco, this morning for an hour, I had goosebumps. Who was around me, and I only see reptilians, but I also see angels around you, very strong. It does seem like, and also I feel like the ghost world kind of connected with you a little bit, slightly. So it does feel like you kind of connected to a vortex, from what I feel. Like an opening for one, and the reptilians came through it, from what I feel. Well, I'm got not to worry though. It wasn't anything negative, just interesting. So I'm feeling. Question 2: any messages from anyone? Yeah, you should be getting downloads of what's to come in certain. Might be like a word. Might be very faint. As for when Earth transitions, it's not going to make itself too known. But if there's something that you truly want to know, I believe it will find itself to you. I see it as a word. You just mind your own business, quiet, and you hear this word, or maybe a couple words. Is what I see. As for when that'll occur, it's up to you, or just come into your mind side too. But it feels like it would come out in this area, like somebody's talking to you. That's how the spirit realm works usually. But they can also come into your mind. Like if you ask for something, and the thoughts and images will show up. If you truly want to know the answer. And, well, they'll do the best they can to bring all that through us, put it that way. We can't know everything, obviously. All right. Thank you, everyone, for posting questions. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow for another broadcast, and Saturday will be the radio show. So much love. Have a great night.